Well, are you ready to create yourself? I hope so, because ready or not, here we go with learning and showing how you can create yourself with white Dianetics and white Scientology. Just by way of disclaimer, we have no ties whatsoever to the Church of Scientology, and we never will. The Church of Scientology practices Black Dianetics and Black Scientology, which are the basis of MK Ultra mind control. We share with you white Dianetics, white Scientology, which will help you create yourself and build the life you'll love, get you divine, get you sovereign, get you free. Tonight, we'll be back at 10 p.m., maybe before then, maybe not. We'll be back at 10 p.m. with our 2-hour live talk show. You call in, you make the topics. Tonight, I'm going to share with you in my opening what happens if Biden wins. And then the 2 hours after that are up to you, whatever you want to say, whatever you want the topics to be. Today, we're going to go through this presentation on white Dianetics, and I think you're going to find something here that can change your life if you'll let it. So today our subject is Dianetic demons. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Dianetic demons. And as always, we're brought to you by my great friends at Focused Life Force Energy. It is high consciousness on demand. It is EMF mitigation. It is brain optimization. It is grounding. It does put you in a high consciousness field, or since we're talking about Dianetics, high on the tone scale. And it will make a difference in your life. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Focus Life Force Energy or Fluffy logo and see how good this is. Make it a part of your life. You'll be very, very happy you did. Today we talk about Dianetic demons. For some reason, demons are one of the most paramount subjects in any type of spirituality, especially Christianity. But people that say they're not Christians still are looking for demons behind every bush and angels behind every bush. And to be frank with you, there's no difference between angels and demons. Jeff, how do you know? Well, I am a Bible college graduate. I do have 20 years as a full-time minister and another 20 years now in the broad spectrum of spirituality. Jeff, how do you know? Well, I have spent 100,000 hours studying strictly the biblical text and now many more hours on expanded freeform spirituality. So how do I know? I've been doing this for a little while. And if you've been doing it for 40 years and you have my credentials, feel free to step up and disagree with me. But before you do, consider who you're talking about and what you're talking about. And we don't allow you to troll or question or debate within the chat room, because we do open up the lines at the end of every show and give you a chance to talk and share. So with that, let's continue to move on, ladies and gentlemen. Dianetic demons. Demons, internal voices, and thinking. Very, very deep and powerful stuff. A Dianetic demon, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a parasitic circuit. It has an action in the mind that approximates another entity other than the self. And it is derived entirely by the words contained in engrams. So even though you're convinced you've got a demon, you don't. Even though you're convinced your spouse has a demon, they don't. Even though you're just convinced that there's demons out there everywhere and demons are doing all the bad stuff, they're not. Humans are born good. We're born not with original sin. We're born with the spark of divinity within. And that's so important to note. And the reason that humans are aberrated, or the reason that humans do things that humans do that we all wish they wouldn't do, is not because of anything they have done or anything they are, but because of things that have been done to them. Those things are engrams, and they manifest as demons. They act like there's another entity. It looks like there's another entity. It sounds like there's another entity. Sometimes, trust me, it even smells like there's another entity. And congratulations to Michelle for the new birth. But there's not. There's really not. Jeff, how do you know? Man, for 40 years, I've been battling demons. I made my living battling demons for 40 years. I think I know a thing or two about demons. You decide whether you think I do or not. How a demon gets there is not very hard to understand. Let me give you an example. A father, while a baby is unconscious, yells at the mother, tells the mother she's got to listen to him and nobody else, by God. The baby, since he's or she is not conscious, those words go right into that baby's what we call reactive mind. You can think of it as the reptilian mind, if you like. Those words go right into that reactive mind. It bypasses the analytical mind and it goes right into the reactive mind. And the words are just as powerful in the baby as if they had been said to the baby. And let me give you another little hint. Even if that baby had been in the mother's womb and those words were said, it would still go into that baby's reaction mind. Reptilian mind, reactive mind. The baby gets the engram, and it gets keyed in somewhere between babyhood and death, because maybe when the baby was sleeping, the fan was running. And the baby, and when he or she gets old, hears a fan, and somebody yells at him, that gets re-stimulated. Or maybe the father was smoking when he yelled. The baby, the person that's now used to be a baby, now grown, smells smoke. A stressful situation arises, and that engram fires off again. It's re-stimulated and it's keyed in. And then that engram goes to work, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm going to help a lot of you right now, but you're going to think that I'm attacking you. And what is with all the snowflakes today? There's snowflakes everywhere. You can't throw a rock without hitting a snowflake, bouncing off that snowflake, hitting another snowflake, and hitting a third snowflake before it hits the ground, even out here in the middle of rural Kansas. People are at the place where you can't disagree with them, period. It's their truth. It's their convictions. It's their beliefs. And they're not open to debate. Since when? When did we become so closed-minded? You know when we became so closed-minded? When we became so fearful. You know when we became so closed-minded? When we became so ego-driven. A person that says, my convictions can't be discussed is ego-driven. A person that says my convictions can't be discussed is fear-driven. Think about what you're saying. I'm a truther. I investigate truth. I go down rabbit holes, but not you, not this time. Come on, guys. We're better than this. And the people that say it's my convictions, it's my truth, it's not open to discussion, you know what that is talking? That's a demon talking. That's an engram talking. And you know how you know that you've got some engrams? If you have internal voices. A cleared person doesn't have internal voices, positive or negative. Because an engram can manifest and pretend to be positive. That's the ones you call angels, until you get clear and you realize they were just engrams. Listen, folks, a person who is clear, and that means they have all of their life track analyzed, they have all of the gaps filled in, and they have no more engrams. They're 100% of the time using their analytical mind to make their decisions, and they're not making decisions based on the automatic nature of the reactive mind. And when you're cleared, you don't think vocally. You don't have that voice in your head. You don't have that dialogue in your head. Because the person that is cleared is thinking in warp speed. A person that is cleared is thinking in boom. A person that is cleared is connected to divinity. I haven't said this in a long time, but the person who is cleared has the Ethernet connection to the divinity. And it's 100K, baby. It's locked and loaded. It's full megs. Of course, I don't know much about internet, you can tell. It's megs on megs. It's mega megs. And it's instantaneous. When you're thinking, when you're vocalizing your thoughts, when you're articulating your thoughts in voice form, that's very slow. And that's indicative of the fact that you're not clear yet. That's why when you get cleared, you're smarter. That's why when you get cleared, you're more articulate. That's why when you get cleared, you are almost always correct. And that's why when you get cleared, you don't have accidents, you don't stumble, you don't fall, you don't mumble. Joe Biden really needs to get cleared. But your articulation of your thoughts are not in voice terms. And if they are, then you've got some engrams and you need to be cleared. And this really isn't surprising because one of the biggest, most powerful engrams that those of us that deal with these things notice is the listen to me engram. Listen to me. It's very, very common in society. This engram circulates widely. Sit right there and listen to me. It's very slow. It's very laborious. And some of you wake up in the morning and you turn on your favorite YouTube channel so you can decide what you think about something and how you're going to behave, because you don't think about it yourself. You go to some guru for you to be told what's happening and what you think about it. You go to some channeler. You go to some card reader. You go to some angel channeler. You go to some guru on YouTube that says they know more than you do. You've outsourced your divinity. You've outsourced your sovereignty, and you have no freedom. It makes no sense because we've gotten lazy and we've gotten afraid. We're too lazy to think for ourselves, and we're afraid that we'll be wrong. But you know how you learn? By being wrong lots of times. So the listen to me demon, the listen to me engram is very common. Sit right there and listen to me is very common. It's very slow. It's very laborious. And the clear thinks with such clarity and with such speed that the word stream of consciousness is left far behind. And when you're ahead, when you're cleared, the words of other people don't really bother you anymore. The words of other people don't bother you. Now, the words of other people that injure other people will still sting and beg to be resisted by you. Words that are not clear and words that are not right will still beg to be corrected by you, and you'll hold people to that. But you're beyond the word thought. You're beyond speaking. You've defeated the Tower of Babel, metaphorically, because you're back this close, ladies and gentlemen. When you get clear, you're back this close to telepathy. And in fact, you're very good at telepathic communication when you're clear. You're very good at remote viewing when you're clear. Your blink is on steroids when you're clear. You know, you see, you get it instinctively, intuitively, bang, 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 when you're clear. But when you're not clear, you're thinking, you're talking to yourself, you're slow, you're laborious, and you're stealing from yourself the clarity, the speed that is yours as a clear. As Brandon says, you begin to know what other people are going to say, and you're right every time. And the problem when you're clear is that you have to force yourself to listen because you already know what they're going to say. You're 2 minutes ahead of the conversation. But you got to focus yourself to listen to them, even though you know what they're going to say. It's like you're dealing with the lesser being. Ooh, that's going to tick people off. But when you're not clear, you are a lesser being. Yeah, and when you're watching the movie, don't tell people what's going to happen. Don't do it. Don't do it. And it's a safe assumption that every aberree has at least one demon circuit and probably 40 or 50. All these demons are parasitic. And what do I mean by parasitic? Well, they take a part of the analytical mind and they turn it off. They have to, because in order for an engram to take root in your reactive mind, there has to be a reduction in your analytical mind. If your analytical mind is running 100, then you can't get an engram because your analytical mind is not shut down. That's why I want you to get clear, because then you'll never get another engram. Now, you need to do some maintenance along the way, but when you're clear, you'll never get another engram because your analytical mind's running 100. This is why I take a very dim view of the psychedelics. This is why I take a very dim view of the devil's lettuce. Smoking it to excess, of course, it's a great healing tool. This is why I have a problem with licking the frogs and down in the shrooms and all that stuff, because anytime you lower your analytical mind, I'm just going to say it. I was going to say you take the risk of receiving an engram, but you really guarantee you're going to receive an engram. Unless you're doing your shrooms in a deprivation tank with no sound, then you're going to get engrams because your analytical mind is lowered. There's going to be things said. There's going to be things seen. There's going to be things felt. And those things speak past your analytical mind into your reactive mind. And I got to say it. I know it's not true of everybody, but every person I personally know, Abel Matthew, thank you so much for that. Every person I personally know that's dealt in the psychotropics has got a bunch of engrams. They are loaded with engrams. They hit the engram sale when it was 10 for 1. Lionel says, even a guru needs a guru, my guru friend. Lionel, I love you like a brother, but I do not agree with you whatsoever. You know my saying, be your own guru, guide your own spirit, master your own ascension. Everybody needs a guru is a saying invented by, I guarantee you, a guru. Be your own guru, bro. Let one of the other Lionels, or let your higher self Lionel be your guru, and you'll be much, much better off. So they take a part of your analytical mind and they turn it off. There's no gain. You don't get better because you have a demon. You don't get better because you have an engram. There's no gain. It's all loss because your analytical mind is reduced in its abilities, and that is always deleterious, detrimental. It's no bueno. In time, an entire mind can become parasitic with the true I, the true person, on a teeny and tiny and forlorn shelf. The I will soon become dependent upon the parasites and will, in time, cease to function as an individual. Think about that. You can become so engrammatic. I think I just made up a new word. You can become so engramized. That's another new word. That you will no longer be you. A lot of us talk about NPCs. What's an NPC? What are these people that look like people, but they don't act like people? We call them non-player characters, but should we really call them TECs? Instead of non-player characters, should we call them totally engrammed characters? Totally engram characters? Ron would not want you to call him your guru, laugh dancer. And I think you know that. In fact, I was going to use the rods, but I dropped one, so we'll just leave that for another time. NPCs are controlled by engrams, says Tracy. So you can get to that place. And that's why so many people in our society are completely TEC'd. They're totally engrammed characters. The lovely Cynthia has come in and handed me the rods that fell where I couldn't get them. So let's ask Abel Matthew, please just drop it, bro. You're calling attention to yourself, and we're trying to do a lesson here. So, is Jeff wearing a pink shirt? You see that? That's a no. Is Jeff wearing a red shirt? You see that? That's a yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, would Ron want you to consider him your guru? What's this going to say? No. So I'm right on that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've discovered what an NPC is. I think we know what an NPC is now. I think it's become clear to us. Let's move on. Deprogramming, Laugh Dancer calls it when describing to people. I understand that you do that, and I understand why you do that, but Laugh Dancer, I refuse anymore to couch my language. I don't care if I'm not afraid of people saying, oh, you're using Dianetics. I'm not afraid of people saying, oh, you're using Scientology. And Laugh Dancer, because I love you so much and care for you so much, could I suggest that maybe you've developed an engram around using Dianetic and Scientological terminology because you don't want to be judged by it, or you think you're going to lose an opportunity? Girl, I say go big or go home. That's me. You do you, I'll do me. We'll share together and we'll learn from each other. But me, I want them to know I'm doing Dianetics. I want them to know I'm doing Scientology, because then I'll talk to them about white Dianetics and white Scientology and black Dianetics and black Scientology. I'll tell them that L. Ron Hubbard was kidnapped by the deep state. I'll tell them that the CIA now runs the church. You know what I'm saying? But you do you and I'll do me, and we're both on the same team, and I appreciate you as a person that is using this great tech to change the lives of others and improve the lives of others. Thank you so much. And let me give you a beautiful example of an NPC. Let me tell you a beautiful example of a person that is a TEC, a totally engramized character. Galatians 2:20 from the Bible. It states, and you see it on the screen, I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live, but I don't live. Christ lives in me. That's a TEC. That's a totally aberrated TAC, totally aberrated character. Totally aberrated character. This is a great point by Laugh Dancer. She says that she tried the black Scientology and got totally turned off by it. This tells me a few things about Laugh Dancer. This tells me that she's a person that is seeking true self-improvement. This tells me that she's a person that is willing to take a chance and take a risk and go the road less traveled. And it tells me that she was able to discern that when she went to the Church of Scientology, and they it's not Laugh Dancer's fault. They lure you in with a few good, clear, white Scientological things. And then they get you with a few gains or wins, and you say, oh, this stuff works. And then they bring in the black Scientology and begin to reel you in. So Laugh Dancer is a very, very advanced person, way up on the tone scale, because she was able to see that. And she has a perfectly natural reaction to what she went through. I never really bought the black, so it wasn't that hard for me. I always was a little bit, Laugh Dancer, total bait and switch. Absolutely 100% true. So I feel you, girl. I'm with you. We're on the same team. I salute you for being the advanced individual, high tone scale individual that you are. So think about that. I'm crucified with Christ. Think about your confessions. Think about that. I'm dead. I don't even live anymore. I invite this other entity, this engram, to come live in me, and his father, engram, to come live in me. That is a prescription for being a TEC, an NPC. Christians are NPCs. Christians are TECs. Why? Because you're controllable. Why does Christianity make people NPCs? Why does Christianity make people TECs? For the same reason that the Church of Scientology does, because it's all black tech mind control. We just dropped some knowledge on y'all right there. We just dropped a boom on y'all. And another boom is if you will partake of the C60 Purple Power, it will help you get clear easier, faster, and with greater efficiency. Why? Because it knocks the heavy metals out of your brain, allows you to think more clearly and identify engrams more clearly. Why? Because it energizes you from the mitochondrial level of your cells and optimizes you from the cell on out, and you are rocking and rolling. And when you're free and clear, it's easier to get free and clear. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on that CB or that C60 logo, or if you hate my website for some reason, you can go to c60purplepower.com and use the code TCW10. You are not crucified with Christ. You live. Refuse that Jesus engram. Refute that Jesus engram. Expel that Jesus engram. Expel that Father engram. It is not Christ that lives in you. You live. Take back your divinity. Take back your freedom. Take back your sovereignty, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's a whole nother class of demons, and they're called occlusion demons. And we're wrapping up with this. An occlusion demon shuts things off. They're not technically demons because they don't speak. But the occlusion demon doesn't have anything to say because what he does is not permit to be said or done that makes his brand of mental derangement. The occlusion demon doesn't talk. The occlusion demon just turns shit off. A child falls off her bike, strikes her head. In a semi-conscious and semi-unconscious state, a kind policeman asks her if she can move. And she says, no. And the policeman, he's kind, he's trying to help, and he says to her, never say no, sweetheart. He's trying to help her. But he's just implanted a highly dangerous engram. Because consider this, sometime later, same little girl, she's on a date. She's on a blind date. She met him on Tinder, shouldn't have been there. She's just making bad decisions. But she winds up at this guy's apartment that she just met on Tinder, and he slaps her and pushes her down on the bed. And instead of saying no, that engram fires off and says, never say no, sweetheart. And so she doesn't say no, and she gets sexually assaulted against her will. This is real world stuff, folks. Stephen Holloway says C60 helped him with his cancer recovery. Thank you so much, Stephen, and I'm so glad that you're recovering. This is how real engrams are. They're not demons. They're engrams. And that fact alone should give you so much freedom. Why do I have a demon? What did I do? Why am I so bad? What's wrong with me? No, it's not a demon. It's an engram. And the best part of it is you can clear it and you can clear yourself. Our whole focus here is to get you to the place where you can clear yourself. Oh, Scientology is about making money. Black Scientology is. Dianetics about making money. Black Dianetics is. White Dianetics, white Scientology, as originally conceived by L. Ron Hubbard. It's free 99. Well, you got to buy a book, or you can just download a book from the website that's on the playlist here. The Create Yourself with White Dianetics playlist. Dianetics is set up to teach you to clear yourself. Now, if you're smart, you'll try to find somebody that can help you on a maintenance basis. But Dianetics is set up to help you clear yourself. And even if you do get to the place where you need some help in clearing and in auditing, most people, I would myself would charge $50 an hour. That's less than most of your psychologists, your psychiatrists. So don't let these engrams that are in your mind about Dianetics and Scientology. Lionel says, why separate demon and Ingram? Because there are no demons. They're only Ingrams. And we're trying to refine and save our linguistics. Laugh Dancer says she only used the word program because she never studied Scientology deeply. She left quickly and did her own body cleanse. And they do bait and switch that body cleanse, which is not good. Don't do the Scientology body cleanse. It's really, really bad for you. But anyway, now we understand. Now we know. Now we get it. It's starting to come into focus for us. And the occlusion demons, ladies and gentlemen, occlusion demons, remember, they're always hiding something. They hide things from the eye. They hide things from the self. There are no demons, Lionel. There's only engrams. So we're reforming our stinking thinking, to use a Zig Ziglar idiom. Demon is a stinking thinking word because there's really no such thing. Engram is what we think a demon is. It's really an engram. So we use the word demon because we contextualize ourselves with people that are watching this, but we're helping them now know it's not a demon, it's an engram. So we're reforming our language, which helps us reform our thoughts, which helps us reform our analytical mind. So an occlusion demon, an occlusion engram, will hide things from the self. Like 1 Corinthians 14:34. Women are to be silent in churches. They're not permitted to speak, but must be in submission, as the law says. Think about that. Christianity, the guy that wrote 2/3 of what you call the New Testament, says women are to be silent in churches. That's an occlusion engram. They're not permitted to speak. That's an occlusion engram. They must be in submission. That's an occlusion engram. Christianity is an engram factory. It's designed to keep you aberrated, to keep you sedated, and to keep you under submission. Paul was an engramizer. It's a classic example of occlusion demon engram. Now watch this. Do you know what one of the most widely heard engrams in the whole world is? People that practice Dianetics, white Dianetics. One of the most common engrams you hear is, I can't breathe. And if you don't understand that the use of that phrase, I can't breathe, is a massive and highly successful attempt to engramize society in a way that can be continually re-stimulated, I can't breathe is the key to showing you what's going on. In reality, occlusions that include I, such as I can't breathe, are even more powerful, even more destructive. You know, you can't breathe, powerful, but I can't breathe. And think about it, folks. If you can't breathe, what can't you do? If you can't breathe, you can't live, at least for very long. As a result of all this, it's estimated, and, Tracy just hit a big one here. If you can't breathe, you can't speak. Maybe that's why all of these so-called Christian warriors are afraid of me. They can't speak, so maybe they can't breathe. I don't know. Either that or their testicles haven't dropped. I'm not sure. Probably a combination. As a result of all this, it's estimated that most people run on about 1/20th of their true mental power. Oh, now we understand why people are so stupid. Don't get mad at me for saying people are so stupid. You live in the same world I do. Walk down the street. Out of every 100 people you see, how many of them are stupid? 95. Why are they so stupid? Not their fault. They're so stupid not because things they've done. They're so stupid not because of what they are. They're stupid because of what's been done to them. Brandon hits a big one. Oxygen deprivation, right? Oxygen deprivation. Mask, what's it do? Every time you put on a mask, guess what? You can't breathe. According to OSHA, which is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, when you wear a mask, you are getting an amount of oxygen that is below the minimum accepted standards for OSHA. So in a real world, ladies and gentlemen, that hasn't gone nuts, OSHA would outlaw the wearing of masks because you literally don't get enough oxygen. You're in a danger zone. If I had a business where we were making divining rods and we were cutting a lot of copper, and there's copper in the air, and I had people wearing the masks that most of you are wearing, I would get shut down by OSHA because you're not getting enough oxygen. No, Jeff, you got to get an air filtration system because your people are not getting oxygen. It's below OSHA standards. And right now, every one of these so-called medical experts is telling you to wear a mask that would make it illegal if we weren't in a bizarro world where they're trying to do anything they can to get Donald Trump out of office. But it's not going to work. Go vote for Donald Trump tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, as a result of this, people run on 1/20th of their true mental power. And you know what's really, 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 really scary? Is they were running on 1/20th of their true mental power before they put on the masks. What are they running on now? With a mask, not getting enough oxygen. Think how easy it was to sheepify a person running on 1/20th of their true mental power. And then think how easy it is to sheepify a person running on 1/20th of their true mental power that is now categorically oxygen deprived. That makes you worry about Joe Biden tomorrow. Go vote. This is why it's so easy to sheepify them. And this is why it's so difficult to de-sheepify them. I have almost given up on trying to de-sheepify people. I try every day to de-sheepify people. I try every day to find people that are Christians and try to find a kink in their armor, a chink in their armor. Kink is a little different than a chink. Try to find a chink in their armor. But you know what? I'm almost out of that business because that business is not booming. I just have to remember I'm the mailman, and the mailman doesn't pull up in his truck or her truck. The mail person, they don't pull up in their truck and decide, which of these pieces of mail should I put in this person's box? Which piece of this mail would be best for this person? No, they put the mail in the box, and you know it is, it's junk mail. Most of everybody's getting the same thing. But you put the mail in the box that's addressed to them. You don't decide what to put in the box. I just need to be the mailman. I need to put there what I'm told to put there. And if people won't wake up, it's not my job to wake them up. I don't like that. Bothers me. Love people. Hate to see them doing stupid, acting stupid, being stupid. Really do hate it. And I don't use the word hate very much, but I hate that. And tonight we're going to be on WBCQ Live at 10 p.m. all across the world on shortwave radio. 10 o'clock tonight, late night in the Heartland. 2 hours of your calls. I'll start off telling you what's going to happen if Biden wins, and then we'll go to your calls for 2 hours. That's tonight on WBCQ and right here live on YouTube. Also, there's a new Facebook page, Create Yourself with White Dianetics. You can go there. In fact, we're broadcasting it there right now. There's also a new Facebook page that is Late Night in the Heartland. You can connect with us there as well. Everyone's responsible for their own spiritual journey. Everyone's responsible to make their own decisions. So I am I'm giving you all the information so you can make your own decisions. And here's a great example. Laugh Dancer, who's an adult. Laugh Dancer who says, Jeff says that. Let me consider it. Some of it's bullshit. Some of it might work. She says, thank you for helping me de-Shopify fear engrams before Election Day. Thanks for helping me discern who to vote for. Actually, I hadn't planned to vote till I heard your words today. Bam! Hot damn, laughed Dancer. You just made my day. I am so happy right now. I am so excited. We needed to stop right now and give Laugh Dancer a big round of applause. She wasn't going to vote. Now she's going to vote, and she's going to do the right thing. Oh, man, that's what it's all about. Everybody in this chat room, you're the best. You're the moderators, you're the best. And every one of you deserves to create yourself and live the life that you'll love. And I encourage you to consider white Dianetics and white Scientology, because I've been doing this over 40 years, and it is the most elegant, the most effective collection of spiritual technologies I've ever seen. It's the only one that I've ever seen work every single time for every single person. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, Late Night in the Heartland, White Dianetics, Create Yourself. We're here to help you unindoctrinate yourself religiously. We're here to help you unindoctrinate yourself according to history. We're getting rid of historical revisionism. We're here to help you unindoctrinate yourself politically, and we're here to help you unindoctrinate yourself as far as being less than you're supposed to be. I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel and tap the bell so you won't miss anything. And I hope that you'll give a thumbs up like I just did to this video, or a thumbs down. It will push it through the YouTube algorithm so more people can hear this information. There are Dianetic demons, but you got them not because of what you did, but because of what was done to you. And I'm showing you how to get yourself free. Go to the playlist, start at the beginning, and by the time you catch up, you'll be ready to unindoctrinate yourself and to clear yourself. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. I salute you for being here, seeking after truth. Keep asking questions. Keep questioning answers. That's what unindoctrinates you. And we're the last generation of real humans, and we are going to make this world better than it's ever been, sooner than you can ever imagine. And it starts with doing what our good friend, and I just forgot, our Laugh Dancer's doing, going out tomorrow, voting for President Trump 4 more years to make more clears. Boom! Vote for Trump. Give me 4 more years to make more clears. That's what it's all about. Jeffrey Daugherty, Christian Whistleblower. I do love you. And I do appreciate you. And we'll see you again tonight at 10 at the latest. Maybe in between, don't know. Until then, create yourself. Build the life you'll love. You deserve it.